Good afternoon, wherever you are. Wherever you are, wherever you are. Good afternoon. Oh, it's a cool truck. A white lifted GMC, but with like lowrider wheels. That is weird, cool. Unique. Unique New York. Welcome. I'm Rob. We're going to talk about the most insecure president in the world. Oh, man. And from them people putting Trump derangement syndrome. Let me just stop you right here. If he doesn't want people to talk about him, tell him to go about his business. Start doing things on the up and up. This man is unreal. Listen, if you don't want me to talk about you being a public figure, don't make AI photos of yourself. Don't Photoshop yourself with Rambo's body. Wishing people, don't Photoshop yourself with Rambo's body in a Jedi robe with a lightsaber saying, "May the Force be with you." That is the thumbnail. I can't see it, but that's the thumbnail to this video. And I had to put that up because imagine being so insecure in your life that you couldn't use a real photo of you. You said, listen, if you were in a public office, you said, do not use a real photo. You Photoshop me with Rambo's body. You Photoshop me with Arnold Schwarzenegger's body. You do not use my real face or body. And that's what Donald Trump keeps doing. It's hilarious. God, you almost feel bad for the man, but you don't because he's a cruel tyrant. And remember what Thomas Jefferson said, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. So welcome. This weekend was the anniversary of Kent State, which I did not even realize. And I was watching Turning Point, the Vietnam War. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. It is an absolutely heart-wrenching documentary series about the Vietnam War through the 60s into the early 70s. The major players in the Vietnam War, and a lot of vets being interviewed, and a lot of South Vietnam and even the North Vietnamese folks were interviewed. So if you got a minute, I just happened to be watching it on the anniversary of Kent State, and I was watching the Kent State episode. There's an episode, I think it's 4 or 5, of the Turning Point Vietnam War series on Netflix. I just happened to be watching the Kent State episode on the Kent State anniversary. Was that yesterday? What's up, Bandito? Rabble. Bandito, have you seen the Turning Point, the Vietnam War docu-series on Netflix? Jordan, you watch your mouth. Only friends see my shoes. All right? Weird comment. If you haven't seen this, my uncle served in Nam. I'm sure a lot of people have loved ones that served in Nam and feel like everybody at that time served in Nam. Oh, Jordan, I was just breaking your balls. You don't have to retract the message. But just know, if you're going to come in here, how you enter is how you get treated, all right? You still haven't watched it? If you get a second, Bandito, it's good. It's long. So basically, I put in one earbud and I hardly even watch it. I'll watch it when they have the translators or the, what's it called? The words at the bottom. I'm so sorry. I'm brain dead right now. But I have to watch it when the North Vietnamese are speaking because I don't speak Vietnamese. But it's fascinating. So I'll listen to most of it. And then we got to the Kent State thing. And I was like, I think the anniversary of Kent State was yesterday or the day before. And it's a heart-wrenching, it's a hard-to-watch series. That Vietnam War was a mess from the beginning. And I'm really glad they had the North Vietnamese speaking and the South Vietnamese speaking. And they had, the I guess you'd call them refugees from the end of the war. Shay, what's up? So if you get a chance, very, very good docu-series on Netflix. Turning Point, I believe it's called Turning Point, the Vietnam War. And I really think, closed caption, that's what it is. And, I always wonder if the younger kids know about Vietnam, because growing up, and I'm sure Bandito, you too, growing up, Vietnam was still in the late 80s and 90s. Vietnam was still, you know, you had family, uncles, cousins, brothers, whatever, depends how old you were, that had served in Vietnam, and you seen, you know, these Vietnam vets that were on the ground. Sorry, I don't know if that's my friend or not. That's I'm doing a live stream. I gotta pay attention, but you know, I feel like so many people have forgotten about the Vietnam War, forgotten about Kent State, forgotten about Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and their song Ohio, talking about Nixon's tin soldiers coming to shoot the students, and all that's going on right now. You know, I feel like history is so important for these kids. So if you get a chance and you're young, watch it, but just be prepared, because it is a brutal watch. So many people needlessly died because Kissinger, that jackass. All right, so did you guys see the May 4th tweet, the official tweet from the White House? Sometimes I think, like, what do they got? Like a troll running the official White House social media stuff? Because they tweeted, I put the thumbnail on this video, Donald Trump, Kent State is quite relevant right now, very much so, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand the history there. The history of sending the National Guard. American soldiers went out and killed American students. That is, I don't know, it horrifies me to think that people don't care about history, don't recognize the importance of the history, or, I don't know, don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like in high school, Kent State should be taught in every school across America. But I don't know if you guys seen the image the White House sent out on May the 4th. It was Donald Trump superimposed on some other person's body, or AI. I'm guessing it's AI. But either way, for the old folks, for the old heads, Donald Trump's face, obviously cut up, chiseled up, all fakened up, all photoshopped up. Donald Trump's face on some ripped, geeked out body, wearing a Jedi robe and hood with a lightsaber, and it says, like, happy May the 4th be with you to all the radical left lunatics, which I thought, well, thank you for saying hi to us. Although he doesn't understand what we stand for. Us radical left lunatics want everyone, not just Donald and his kids, to have homes. We want everyone to have homes. We want everyone to have health care. We want everyone to be able to have a job that pays you enough to live, go on vacation, and if you want to have kids, have kids. We want everyone to live in an affordable society, not just the Nepo babies like Donald and his kids, okay? That's what us radical left lunatics want. We want affordable stuff. The radical lefties want house prices to be moderate. They want, when you're in your 20s, you to be able to buy a home. We want new medical debt. I'll even say this. I want to abolish golf. Get rid of all the golf courses. Put some fucking housing on them. But I mean, that's all we really want. We want our taxes to pay for our own health care. We don't want to have to take on debt. We want school to be free. If you want to get a higher education, we don't want that gate kept. That's what the radical left lunatics. I'm speaking from being one, okay? So, hi, what's up, Tamara? Good to see you. Mr. Bricked Up. Golf is a trash sport. Amen. I wanted to make a t-shirt. One day when I'm a big YouTuber, hit subscribe, hit notification bell. I'm going to make t-shirts that say abolish golf. And then I gotta draw a funny image. But golf is such rubbish. It takes up so much space, especially if you've ever been to like Arizona and you see all these golf courses and you're like, this is the desert. This is not natural. Some people should be drinking this water that's used to artificially make the desert have lawns. Oh, it's such a waste. Such a waste. But back to the point. My thumbnail, if you haven't seen it, when the video is done, you'll be able to see it, was an official tweet from the White House, because Donald Jennifer Janelle Trump Jr., or whatever, is he the first? Yeah, because his daddy was Fred. Fred was the rich man. Fred was the true con artist. Donald is just a Nepo baby who inherited everything, including the art of the steal, how to steal from people. And he's taken so many So many of his own maggots money. But Donald will not post photos of himself. Obviously, all the photos you see are other people posting them because he looks like a fat toddler, always leaning forward. He's so top heavy. Old Tits McGee. Can I say that? 10 minutes in, yeah. George Carlin talked about housing the homeless on golf courses. Amen. And if you haven't heard George Carlin talk about that, please listen to Carlin. Is it Jammin' in New York, or I forget which one? I make all my kids listening to that. You're probably bad at golf. Yeah, I don't golf. Golf is just a waste of space. But we're not here to debate that. That's just a fact. So Donald Trump, everybody perceives as a strong macho man. My takeaway is that for any guy who has to make an AI, I want you to think about this. If you were going to post a photo of you wishing people May the 4th, like I saw Governor Pritzker, what's the Illinois governor, post one, and he posted a real photo of him dressed up as a Jedi and his wife as, I don't know who his wife was. But I've seen people post May the 4th pictures, and usually it's them. So, like, I almost posted one of my son when he was real little. He was Yoda, and he made it to the front page of the newspaper. He was so cute. But Donald Trump is so insecure. His vanity knows no limits that he won't post a real photo of himself. So he has his White House. And if you're a MAGA person, you know this because you probably have the Donald Trump Rambo t-shirt, which is so weird. It's not, you guys don't have pictures of him. You have superimposed, photoshopped photos of your supreme leader who won't pose for photo. I don't know what his deal is, because if people were making AI photos of me, I'd be like, stop it, let's just do a photo shoot. You know, Donald's wealthy enough. When I was in radio, you would do photo shoots, you know, and they would want to touch up my stuff. I'd be like, you could leave it, you don't have to, I don't care. I know what I look like, all right? I look like a mess. But even when you get done up, but Donald Trump is such a wicked, insecure guy that he has to Photoshop himself on a man's body. Muscles, veiny muscles, vascular. You better believe there's a man bun. It's all knotted right now, though. Anytime somebody says man bun, I always think of the Eminem song. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Good to see you. Hey, what's up, G-Ma? Good to see you. We're talking about the Photoshopped or AI image of Donald Trump that the White House sent out on May the 4th, saying, May the 4th be with you to all you radical lefty lunatics. And I thought, that is so funny. I said, I don't know how this doesn't scream wicked insecure to everybody. Because if I was doing that, if I wouldn't send out photos of myself, but I would AI myself on some jacked Joe Rogan knuckle dragger body, people would be like, what is wrong with you? What, are you too scared to like show a real picture of you? I don't know if they'd think I was masculine. They might think I was very vain. Is masculine not, is being wicked vain and like having a good side and like needing to prep before a photo, is that masculine now? I didn't know that was I don't know, and I don't care. May the Sith be with you. Sith new with you. May the Sith new with you. Sure enough. Him as the Pope. Oh, naughty alien. That's right. They did they did an AI Donald Trump as the Pope. But you can see these anywhere. I'm sure in your hometown, when you're driving around, you see Donald Trump as Rambo holding a gun on the side of some pickup truck. It's usually like a 1990s Ford Ranger. But does anybody else, am I alone here? Or do you guys see that and go, what an insecure, vain person that can't even just have like him, fat toddler lean? He's almost got the Michael Jackson lean down, folks. I mean, let's be real. That dude, when he's standing, he's leaning so far, you'd think he was doing that Michael Jackson Thriller lean. Was it the Thriller or Smooth Criminal? Smooth Criminal. The Smooth Criminal lean. I mean, shit, just do him leaning one way and Michael Jackson leaning the other way. Make that'd be cool. Would you, I love this. Skaterade. I would have preferred Bernie Sanders or for this whole government to just be demolished and capitalism be gone. Listen, I'm very construed because Donald Trump, and we're going to talk about how he doesn't understand the Constitution, in an interview, link down below, they asked him, are you supposed to uphold and aren't you supposed to uphold the Constitution? He said, I don't know. And the clip is down below, okay? This man doesn't know the president. He's made a mockery of the office because in his oath, the first day, January 20th, and he's done this twice, folks, the first day in his oath, he takes an oath, the presidential oath, to swear to uphold and defend the Constitution. And he's in an interview going, I don't know. I mean, he just sounds like a bozo. And we know he's dumb. He's not like a high educated man, you know, he doesn't have serious thoughts. But I am Skaterade. I am torn because Donald Trump is decimating the government. He's got rid of due process. He's extorted lawyers. He's crumbling the Constitution. He's disappeared. I mean, there's a list of things, right? They're throwing everything at the wall. So he's kind of dismantling capitalism, which is what I want. I want capitalism gone. Capitalism just means the richest people get to decide everything. But he's doing it in a fascist way. And he's doing capitalism where he's trying to consolidate all the money and power. And even Jeff Bezos is learning a hard lesson with that. I mean, all his rich friends. You heard Elon whining about the tariffs. I mean, all his rich friends are learning a hard lesson. And you figure they were smarter than this. They would understand he has nobody's back except for his own. He only wants his own power and wealth. So I'm in this like conundrum of like, well, I respect that he's trying to dismantle this capitalist system, but the way he's doing it is really fucked. I wish a decent person, someone with some character, somebody who didn't have to AI themselves because they were so vain and vapid, was doing it to dismantle it and to utilize the money. Because where's all that Doge money going, right? They're claiming they're saving billions of dollars. Have they said where it's going? Probably into Elon and Trump's pockets. You think these men that have been convicted of fraud, fraudulent papers, fraud with their university are not going to be frauds now? I feel bad for you. So that's my conundrum. It's like, well, he's kind of dismantling capitalism, but the way he's going about it and the people that are going to get hurt, including you and I, it's not exactly what I intended, but, you know, you got to see the silver lining where you can, I guess. So the fact that Trump's trying to dismantle capitalism all in the sake of his own name, you know, but, sorry, I'm not reading the comments. Skater. So you want capitalism gone? Yes. Yes, I do. I would love to move to Denmark or I don't know why people are so defensive of capitalism. Capitalism is the reason America is where we are in 2025, folks. Fucking every time people are like, you don't like capitalism? Good luck with your food lines. I'm like, bitch, we're about to have food lines again. Do you remember waiting for toilet paper a few years ago? Maybe you're not old enough. But we've been doing capitalism and it ain't working out. People are dying from curable diseases. People are gatekept from insulin. Capitalism sucks, okay? I would like to hear your defense. Maybe you're just like, I like when poor people die for no reason. And if that's your defense, okay, we can pinpoint you being a shitty person. But we've been trying capitalism. The best countries in the world, the happiest countries in the world are usually more socialist countries. Fucked. They're like, I like when Elon Musk has all the money. It's so dumb. But anyway, it's okay. Not everybody is where I am, and we need to get us there. We need to get there. So to reroute from that little tirade, Skaterade, I would have rather had Kamala because Donald Trump, all of his accusations are admissions. So this is like a revenge porn presidency, okay? He's just going after people. They've admitted Abrego Garcia, or whatever his name is, was an accident, and they still won't bring him back. They've admitted they did that on accident. It was administrative error. And you got to remember, I know you, and like, what is your thing? What do you like that he's done? It's very hard for me to understand, because unless you dehumanize people, to understand that, like, that's a dude, and irregardless of the charges against him, he still gets due process. That's what America was great at, You know, that's one of the things I'd like to keep. Due process, free speech. Unfortunately, capitalism fucking erodes all of those things. You know, you don't really get free speech when the most money talks. Look at what happened on Twitter. You know, he made it a pay to play, and you get drowned out if you're not paying. T2, I'm a rich white male. You just came up on my stream, Wall Street guy. Okay. Welcome. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We welcome everyone as long as you're not hate-filled, misogynist, homophobic, transphobic, racist. You got to have your anger pointed at the right people. There's a fascinating video, Democracy Now!, link down below. And I'm sorry I'm not getting to all the comments. Hello from Australia. Oh, the Labour Party just won. I haven't got to catch up with Australian politics. Friendly Geordies is how I stay up to date with my crikeys down in Australia. I love Australia. Bro wants a thought as president. We have a thought as president. Donald Trump is that hoe over there. He is a like, I don't know if you understood what you're saying, but Donald Trump is that hoe over there. He is that jealous baby, that vain guy that won't go out until he looks perfect. He needs to AI his pictures. Like, I don't know if you were trying to dog Kamala, but at least this is the thing. Kamala, I don't think she would have been good for the country. Joe Biden's not good for the country. These capitalists, you have two Republican parties, folks. Republican light. They're not good for the country. I don't think Kamala was going to give us universal health care. I don't think they were going to use our taxes. They're still taking our money and siphoning it from us and putting it everywhere else but our healthcare, our education, or this. That's what I believe in. When somebody says radical left lunatic, I want you to understand, they call me a lunatic because I think our taxes should educate, keep us healthy, keep us housed, and keep us not starving. 1 in 5 kids in America are food insecure and are hungry in America. So that's why they think I'm a radical left lunatic, because they don't think that, the richest people should have all the best stuff and everybody else can fight it out. And that's what they're doing. But she would be, sure enough, she would be miles better when it comes to the treatment of the most vulnerable people, when it comes to respecting free speech. You have to understand that Donald Trump doesn't respect free speech. Look at his latest interviews, linked on this one and linked in last week's. When he's challenged, I mean, Donald Trump is grandpa yelling at cloud, okay? He was tricked by a photoshopped MS-13 on someone's knuckle. Like, flat out tricked. You see it. It's on. I couldn't believe they let this interview go out, right? And I also linked the 60 Minutes on Trump and what he's doing to the lawyers, which, when you have a lot of lawyers going, if this follows through, we're heading to a no rule of law country. Which, when they describe it and they say, well, that's authoritarianship, that's a fascist dictator. And I say, yeah, but it's kind of cool to think there's no rules. It would be awesome. But then again, there's only rules for poor people. What these lawyers really should say is there's no rule of law for the wealthy. You know, the wealthy can just undo each other as much as they want. They can go after the poor people. That's why they got rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. But there's still rules for poor people, marginalized people. Terry. I forget. I kept calling him Tandem or Tanner. I kept calling Terry, whatever, Morton, Tanner Mortuary. Terry. I wish he had, I've been listening to so many people discuss it, and they're right. He should have pulled out the photo and on live TV been like, so you don't think that's Photoshop? You think that MS-13 is real? We need to get this. Because the dude is senile. You know, that's the other thing I'm against. We should not have presidents over the age of 50 anymore. With the technology today, I'm sorry to say this, after 50, and I'm almost there, folks. After 50, you don't get to be president. The technology's changing too quick, okay? If you get duped by Photoshop, you're out for president. Like, that should be in the cognitive test that Donald Trump always, brags about passing. I'm sorry I'm not catching these questions and comments. Waiting for debtor prisons to come back. We already kind of have those shown up. Oh, in the news, Donald Trump talking about wanting to reopen up Alcatraz and use that as a prison again. And we shut down Alcatraz because it was so expensive. Could you imagine trying to fund a prison on an island, right? Lots of upkeep. And it's just amazing that people will bypass. They'll be like, oh, we need to cut cut spending and stop spending. But where would we get the money to open this prison? Where do we get the money to pay for his golf trips? That's really what I want to find out from people. If you want to save the money, or if you want to get out of the deficit, why don't we just tax wealthy people? Why go after all of the poorest people and have to go after the poorest people's programs and the most vulnerable people to try to scraggle together a little bit of money when you could just turn around and go, Amazon, $1 trillion company, Starbucks, $1 trillion company, bazillion-dollar company, Apple, a kagillion-dollar company. We haven't even come up with the words yet. Go, your tax rate, Donald Trump went from 35 corporate tax to 21, and now he's trying to bring it down to 17. That's what they're trying to pass. This new Trump tax would bring the corporate rate from 21 to 17. Instead of doing that, if you really believe in saving money, funding programs, fire department, whatever you believe in, why not turn around and go, you companies have made billions of dollars in this country. It's time to pay your fair share. Your corporate tax rate should not be lower than working people's. You should be back up at 77% like you were in our golden age of America. How much has he spent this year on Follies? And then another link down below. Thank you. Show enough. Thank you. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Flat tax, horrible idea. A flat tax works out for rich people. Guess why? Because a flat tax for someone making 10 grand is going to be much more of their salary, which they need, than a flat tax for someone making $1 million. Horrible idea. Again, why are people against taxing wealth? If you want to make up for the budget, fund programs, need money for things, which Donald Trump said, whoa, we have no money. Whoa, we're going to be Elon Musk. We're going to be broke. Why not tax the richest people who do not, they have excess. They have an abundance. They have a greedy, obscene amount of money that they could never spend in a million years. When a guy can blow billions of dollars on a website, but won't pay taxes, why would you not say, oh, we can fund everything if we just tax them? What are you against? Like, I can't figure this out. What are you against raising taxes on corporations? And again, tax wealth. There's so much wealth in this country that not you and I have. Why are you against that? We could make this country better. You worried about crime? Let's fund these people, fund programs, fund addiction programs, fund housing, fund recovery, fund food. You're going to, when people are happy and don't feel hopeless, you're going to see a change. Have you never lived through, Logan, it's not even funny, man. Hold on, sorry. I didn't mean to hide him. I was trying to put him in timeout. I won't tolerate that hail stuff. Logan, if you're trolling, man, come with like something funny, but that's dangerous. There's some real hate-filled people out here that didn't take that as a joke and take them very seriously. And you're seeing it right now. So, and you've been in here before. For the new folks, hit subscribe, hit notification bell. Logan's been in here. And he's a young kid and he loves Elon. And look at, he's saying, hail Elon. Like, Logan, go look up World War II. My grandfather fought in that war. I don't know if yours did or not, but we used to fight Nazis, not fucking worship them. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you. Sorry for the language, folks, but there's some shit I won't tolerate. We fought a war against Nazis. And to watch these asshats creep back into our country and not, I wish my grandfather was alive. I would take him every time you see these neo-Nazis, be like, Gramps, let's get out and beat their asses. Democrats created the FDA, brother. I'm missing some stuff. I'm 48, my son's 24, 27. I try to help you get there. Republican for life. T2. Help me get where? I'm missing some of the stuff. My apology is not reading all the comments. Where do you want me to get? T2 got them poor. How old are you? T2 said he was a Wall Street guy, which, you know, you got to take people at their word. But, you know, Wall Street's put our country. That's the biggest issue, is all these corporations, all these companies that are publicly traded, they're all at the behest of Wall Street's expectations. And Donald Trump, that's the one kind of cool thing that he's done, He's like, he fucked Wall Street. He turned around and said, bam, I'm gonna spank you too. Call me daddy. Donald Trump put a little lick into Wall Street. I mean, he only did it so he could share inside information with his friends so they could profit billions. He was bragging about it in the office, but here, we were in Iraq because of Bush and Cheney oil. Did you see what Mike Pachoka said about Trump? No. I don't know that name either. I'm sorry. T2, both my grandfathers fought in World War II. The Nazis made my grandfather eat a hamburger in the mud. Is that a true story? But T2, I mean, what do you think? If you're a rich Republican guy, what do you think about the state of things right now? I mean, you got people doing Sig Heils, and you got Stephen Miller, who's a known white supremacist, even though the dude's Jewish and his own family is, cast him aside. I'm curious because I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. I'm neither. If you're new here, hit subscribe with notification bell. I'm not either. And I'm not kidding. Like when I registered when I was young, getting my driver's license or permit, I registered Green Party. I said, fuck this noise. I don't believe in this system. I think it's like the Super Bowl. It's a facade. I hate hearing people say they're voting for the lesser of two evils. I think people should be passionate. I think we should set up some kind of parliament where the ranked voting, you get a larger part of the pie. I think there's a better way to do it. And I think this capitalism has funneled this into a one corporate elite system that's painted two different colors. And I'm trying to get people, that's why I do this every single weekday. Hit subscribe. I'm trying to get people to understand that this red and blue thing, when you paint Trump in AI, vascular, gacked out, muscle man, fake AI pictures of him, it's all propaganda, and that's literally propaganda. That is literally a fake photo of some president, political figure, and it's all bullshit. And when you think it's, we're scaring the left or the radical left lunatics, I'm a radical left lunatic, and I'm here to tell you I want you to have health care, Republican or not. I don't care. If you're an American, I want you to have health care paid for by your taxes. I want you to have affordable housing. I want you to not go hungry. I don't want 1 in 5 kids being hungry every night, which is here in America. I want you to never have medical debt. If you want to get educated, you want higher education, I think that should be funded by our taxes like it was in the 50s. So I'm telling you what I believe in. And that's why I don't fit into this system, because I think these corporations have tricked us, okay? Think about the language they say. They say you can't tax wealthy people. They're job creators. You got to give them tax breaks, right? This is their language. I'm just going to tell you how to think about it. They say the CEOs, the corporations, if you tax them, then they won't be able to create jobs. Well, guess what, folks? They're laying off people all the time. There's a layoff season in America. But what have they said? They've gotten tax breaks, okay? And they say, well, you got to give them tax breaks so they create more jobs. Well, layoffs haven't stopped. But more importantly, how come those same people turn around and say the immigrants took your jobs? Well, if the CEOs and the corporations need tax breaks because they're the job creators, if they have all the power over jobs, how the fuck could an immigrant take it? The wealthy, powerful ones said, we are the ones in power. The corporations say this. They say we need tax breaks, we need better tax breaks because we control the jobs. But then they tell you that immigrants took your jobs. It doesn't even make sense on its face. None of it makes sense. And they do that because it's all propaganda so they can line their pockets, have you hate other working people, and they make off and go to Ibiza or wherever. But they do tax the rich a lot. They don't, Blue. Did you not hear what I said? Donald Trump's first tax cuts in 2017 made the corporate tax go from 35% to 21%. He's trying to, him and the Republicans are trying to pass another tax cut to go into effect to take the corporate tax rate from 21 to 17. That would be lower than you pay. You probably pay around 22% tax, depending. I don't know what you do, but I'm telling you I do. So it's just insane to me. And this is what I mean. If you have different information, I know what that is. I know it. I fucking talk to my CPA all the time. So what I'm telling you is you say shit like this because you think you've heard this. You think, they're already taxed so much. They're not. And if you don't know, Blue, do you understand how much corporations were taxed in the 50s here in America? Do you know? Show me how much you know. Put it in the chat, Blue. How much were corporations taxed? Blue, I'll wait for you. Show enough. It makes them feel good. If you like the vibes of this live, hit like and subscribe. Ooh, thank you, Artsy Fartsy. I like your name. Welcome. Hit subscribe. That's right. Blue, you're awfully quiet now. You like to say that, oh, they already pay so much. And I'm saying, how much did they pay in the 40s and 50s, corporations? I know this. You can, folks, we have Google. You don't have to go to a library anymore. They're closing them down anyways. I wrote back, what? I didn't see. You didn't. Your last thing was, it's still a lot of money, though, when you make a lot. 30%. Wrong, John Cato. In the 50s and 60s, they were paying 78 to 99%. You guys need to look this stuff up. This is readily available information. When I was growing up, we had to go to the library or know someone smart. You guys have fucking Google on your phone. No excuse. Frank, is that your idea of like funny, or I don't get it? Is that your idea of funny? Like, did your friends know that you think that's funny? If you're going to say, does your boyfriend know you're online? Like, Frank, do your friends know that that's your kind of humor? Fucking third grade bullshit? God. Blue, this is very important, though. I'm not trying to focus on you. I'm just saying, Blue, I've talked about it on the lives, and I provided links down below. I can find them again, and I'm sure it's in my community post. But this is so important because that's misinformation. They tax them at 80%. It's not criminal. This is just fact. And it's the facts that Donald Trump and Elon say, the golden days, the golden age of America in the 50s. And they all seem to negate to mention the corporate tax rate was 78 to 99%. So anything after a certain amount of money, they were paying that much on, which they were doing. Unions were huge. Unions, folks. So it's infuriating. It's infuriating to see people. And why? Why are you so scared to tax corporations? Jeff Bezos doesn't care if you poop in a bottle. He does not care. Oh. Okay. I gotta go. We demand better trolls. Oh no, is my thing out? Oh, my thing's okay. I think I'm back. We do. Bandito says we demand better trolls, and we do. We do. Unions kept families together. Thank you, Shonuff. Listen, thank you guys for joining me. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come back tomorrow. Watch the Donald Trump interview. Watch the Donald Trump 60 Minutes. You got to get educated, folks. You have Google on your phone. This is good stuff. Shonuff, thank you for being here. Bandito, much love.